Revelation 698. From the 5th of December 1938. Knowledge of God. Recognizing the origin. People recognize less and less their origin, and since they are not aware of it, they also do not understand their task on earth. And even if times pass over it, they must inevitably first come to this realization, before step after step of their higher development can take place. The length of time does not release man from the task which is uncomfortable for him, to seek first the connection to his Creator. He must for the first time acknowledge the Creator and enter into contact with Him, and it can only be advantageous for him if he seeks this connection as soon as possible, because only from this time on his life can be lived according to its purpose. But before that, life is only a playful dissipation of precious time, because it does not entail the slightest benefit for the soul. And it will only be of disadvantage if man lives thoughtlessly and never deals with the question of his origin. God has truly given him the intellect and the ability to think for nothing, if he does not use them to achieve spiritual success. Rarely man is granted the grace to be obviously pointed to the state before his embodiment. Who does not search in the desire for truth on the way of the heart, will hardly be able to be initiated, and therefore also his original nature will remain an eternal riddle to him. He does not give himself the slightest effort to receive a satisfying enlightenment about it. And so he can neither only accept as truth what is offered to him from a spiritually more mature side, or he must remain in a dark, unclear state until he finally recognizes his actual origin after a long, unused time on earth. And that always the sooner, the more this question moves him. For God gives enlightenment to every man who asks for light, and he also imposes the same obligation on every man to make use of his thinking and knowledge, and so complete ignorance is always a certain spiritual inertia. He who never asks himself such questions will also not be able to get an answer, and he who lives throughout the day without all thinking, has actually no right to enliven the earth, because he does not fulfill the actual purpose of life. Only the great grace and mercy of God will, through sometimes painful intervention, make even such people think, so that the person can at least stand in the light for the rest of his life. If he does not behave in a completely dismissive manner and disregard all warnings or indications, then only a powerful intervention on the part of the eternal divinity helps such a being to not leave earthly life in fullest ignorance and then have to go an infinitely longer way in the hereafter to reach the same goal, the knowledge of his coming forth out of God. This is inevitably the first necessity. It is the first possibility of ascent, only then there can be talk of a further development. And only then it is possible to establish the right relationship to the Creator and Eternal Father, without which the stage of perfection can never be reached. Amen.